How Dr. Dre discovered Eminem, before the Grammys, the chart toppers, and the controversies. He was just a kid in a trailer park with a notebook full of rage and rhymes. This is the story of how Eminem, also known as Slim Shady, went from underground battles to changing hip-hop forever, and how one loss helped launch one of the biggest careers in music history. Early struggles in Detroit long before global fame. Marshall Mathers was grinding through the underground rap scene in Detroit. Hip-hop was raw, competitive, and unforgiving. And for a white rapper trying to prove himself in a mostly black art form, the odds were stacked even higher. He battled in local clubs, ciphers, and parking lots, anywhere someone would hand him a mic. That's where the Slim Shady persona was born. Dark, chaotic, funny, and brutally honest. But before the fame came a loss that shaped everything. The Skittles battle loss in the late 90s, Slim Shady entered a major freestyle competition, the famous Skittles-sponsored rap battle. It was one of the biggest stages in the underground scene at the time. And that night, Slim Shady didn't win. He lost to Chicago freestyle legend Mick Juice, a respected battle rapper known for razor-sharp improvisation. For many artists, a loss like that could have been the end. But for Eminem, it became fuel. Because sometimes the moment you lose publicly is the moment someone important starts paying attention.
Now the demo.
That changed everything. After the battle, Eminem kept recording. He poured everything into his demo tapes, raw tracks that carried pain, humor, and shock value. One of those demos eventually made its way through industry hands. And somehow, it landed with one of the most influential producers in hip-hop history, Dr. Dre. At the time, he had built West Coast hip-hop and helped launch stars. But even he was surprised when he heard the tape. The story goes that Dre heard Slim Shady and immediately knew this was different. Not just a gimmick, not just shock rap, but storytelling, technical flow, and a voice hip-hop had never heard before. And just like that, everything changed. The breakthrough. Slim Shady goes global. Soon after, Eminem signed with Dre and dropped his major label debut, the Slim Shady LP. It exploded. Critically acclaimed, commercially dominant, singles charted. Videos were everywhere. And suddenly, Slim Shady wasn't underground anymore. He was global. For the kid who grew up broke in a trailer park, it was a seismic shift. But what made Eminem stand out wasn't just the music. It was what he represented. He showed the world that poverty, trauma, and inequality weren't limited to one race. His music exposed a reality many people ignored, that struggle has no color. Controversy and industry pushback, but fame didn't come quietly. Slim Shady sparked backlash across entertainment. Celebrities and critics questioned his lyrics, his tone, and whether his content belonged in hip-hop at all. He had very public rifts, including with pop superstar Mariah Carey. Others in the industry argued his content was too offensive, too extreme, or too outside the culture. But controversy only made him bigger, because while critics debated him, fans couldn't stop listening. The turning point. Renegade then came a defining moment that shifted the narrative. Eminem appeared on Renegade alongside Jay-Z, one of the most respected figures in hip-hop. And something unexpected happened. Many fans felt Eminem outshined Jay-Z on his own track. That feature changed perception overnight. It's no longer just controversial, no longer just shocking. Now, he was undeniable. From that point on, even skeptics had to admit Slim Shady could rap with the best of them. Building an empire, D12 and 50 Cent, but Eminem didn't just build a career, he built a movement. He brought on D12, a Detroit collective of close friends and collaborators, putting his hometown on the global map. Then came one of the most impactful cosigns in hip-hop history. He signed 50 Cent. At the time, 50 was deep in a feud with Murder, Inc., records and struggling to find industry support. But Eminem believed in him, and that gamble paid off massively. 50 Cent exploded into superstardom and remains culturally relevant decades later, proving Eminem's ear for talent wasn't luck, it was vision, legacy, and reflection looking back. It's almost unbelievable. A kid from a Detroit trailer park who lost a major rap battle, who faced industry rejection and controversy, ended up reshaping hip-hop. Eminem broke barriers, redefined storytelling in rap, and proved that authenticity could cut through anything: race, criticism, even failure. Because sometimes the path to greatness doesn't start with a win. Sometimes it starts with a loss. A demo tape. And one person willing to listen? Who would have thought that a kid with big dreams and a notebook full of rhymes could change music forever? But that's the story of Slim Shady. Proof that where you start doesn't define where you end up. And in hip-hop history, few stories hit harder than that.